Bus drivers with Dalton Public Schools went on strike this morning, resulting in a day of remote learning for Dalton students. We have team coverage from Dallas Payton and Cornelia Nicholson coming up for you. The unionized bus drivers of First Student are asking for fair labor practices. First Student is the largest provider of school bus services in North America. Dallas joins us live now from Dalton, Georgia, and he has details for us. How about it, Dallas?
David, these bus drivers are a part of Amalgamated Transit Union, which is a labor organization. They filed an unfair labor practice against First Student.
Glory! ATU! 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 Stronger together! Stronger together!
Amalgamated Transit Union's Chattanooga and Dalton chapter president, Lakeisha Strickland, says Dalton Public Schools bus drivers are standing up for what they believe in.
They love their kids, they love their jobs, they just want to be treated fair and equally out here. So that's what we out here. It's an unfair labor practice strike, which regards retaliation.
Strickland says there are some demands First Student will have to meet before the strike ends.
Our demands were to bargain until we get a contract settled, to reinstate some workers for some position that they were promised in Buffalo, New York. We were negotiating April the 25th, 26th, and 27th, and on the 28th, management brought these 5 drivers that they promised jobs to go to New York, and then they brought them in and told them that they could not go.
The local ATU chapter will meet with First Student on Monday night for negotiations. Strickland says the strike escalated the timeline of negotiations that was originally scheduled for September.
And we will pick it until we get a good contract or get some understanding at the table.
We reached out to First Student regarding the strike and received this statement that reads in part, "Our goal remains to avoid any disruptions in service. We know how difficult even one day without yellow bus service would be for families. We do not expect to operate some bus routes tomorrow. We have 20 drivers who have committed to reporting to work. The district will let families know which routes will be running." The full statement can be found under this story in our app. Now, negotiations begin at 5 virtually. They'll continue those conversations tomorrow in person. Reporting live in Dalton for Local 3 News, I'm Dallas Payton.
Thank you, Dallas. Hamilton County Schools also uses First Student to provide transportation to students. A spokesperson for Hamilton County says the strike will not impact bus routes in Hamilton County. They say more than 20,000 students are transported to and from school every day, with 244 daily routes in the county. In-person classes resume in Dalton tomorrow, and many parents are just figuring out how they're going to get their kids to school. Cornelia Nicholson joins us now with that part of the story. Cornelia?
Well, David, parents tell me that they're frustrated with the school district, that they're not doing more to help get kids to school in the morning or to excuse absences since the buses aren't going to be running. Now, I spoke with the parent, Ashley Fleeman, who says she drives her kids to school, but with classes going back in person tomorrow and buses not running, she thinks it's unfair to the kids who don't have a ride. Now, with parents working or unable to drop their kids off, she says it's not a child's fault if they can't get to school without buses this week. Some parents have offered to carpool kids to school, but Fleeman says that's something that she wouldn't do personally.
I certainly don't trust just anybody driving my kids to school because nowadays you don't know if your kids would ever make it to school. So, I mean, for some, I'm sure that's an option, but for a lot of people, I mean, it isn't. The bus is their only means of transportation for their kids to and from school.
Fleeman says she would like to see the school district do more to help kids get to school, especially with this being their last quarter. Now, Dalton Public Schools sent out an update this afternoon saying that the kids who do have transportation to school should be able to be in class tomorrow. Now, those that don't have a ride, they should log in virtually. And they also just updated about 30 minutes ago that because of the school buses being on strike, that they will allow kids to drop, our parents to drop their kids off earlier than usual. You can find those times over on our website. Live in Dalton, Cornelia Nicholson, Local 3 News.
Thank you, Cornelia, Dallas, and our crew in Dalton. They're battling the elements, as you see, so be careful if you're in the northwest Georgia area.